Now on Chronicle.
I've been to Buckingham Palace, and this is more breathtaking.
Celebrating the wonder of the season.
Merry Christmas.
Through the eyes of every generation.
I love that Santa comes and he gives me presents.
Helping our neighbors in need.
Everyone has a story.
Oh.
It's just a magical time for children.
But you have a Christmas spirit.
We found our tree!
And sharing the joy with family and friends.
Merry Christmas! It's like being home.
Now on Chronicle, home for the holidays.
And welcome to Chronicle. I'm Jane Robelow. The holiday season is upon us. It's a time filled with emotions, the happiness of celebrating with loved ones, the stress of trying to provide for the family, and the joy of giving. Tonight we take you home for the holidays, rejoicing in the season and sharing goodwill with our neighbors in need. And one way to lend a helping hand is through the Holiday Sunshine Fund. This evening we've been taking donations, and every single dollar helps someone in need this Christmas. Right here, right where we live, and you still have a chance to help. We'll let you know how in just a moment. But first, we take you to a town nearby that is so full of the season they bill themselves as Christmas Town. People in McAdenville, North Carolina started a Christmas light tradition back when Eisenhower was president. And today you can still go to that little town near Charlotte and feel the glow of the Christmas spirit. Here now is Michael Cogdill.
It's a tight-knit community.
And it's just a small town and everybody knows everybody.
Always has been.
The rest of the problems of the world don't matter here.
My grandfather came here in 1883.
It all started with a cotton mill.
And I was making 50 cents an hour at that time. So it's come a long way.
A really long way since Dick Roberts started making McAdenville a little famous.
And the welding shop was here on the back where we cut and welded the rods and bent them and spelled Merry Christmas.
Fewer than 1,000 people live here now.
This is going to be our first time, so we're stoked to see it.
It's just the Christmas spirit, the atmosphere.
But come Christmas time, nearly everything changes.
1954 was the year we were standing right here in this spot.
Because way back then, Dick and 3 other mill workers took to the supply shop and welded up a Merry Christmas sign.
I take a lot of pride in the fact that I had a part in the beginning of it.
The mill owner, William Farr, loved it from the start.
The company would bear the expense of however many we wanted to put up.
63 years later, the town's daytime labor keeps making nighttime magic.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho.
It's just a magical time for children. They're just in awe of all these lights, so many.
Merry Christmas!
And so many big trees and trees everywhere.
This December, the little mill town.
We only use the true Christmas colors, of white, green, and red.
Isn't it beautiful?
Just how much spirit there is, the friendliness of the people here.
Will draw about 600,000 from all over.
I'm from Argentina.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Rogers, Arkansas.
Nashville, Tennessee. Charleston, South Carolina.
Feliz Navidad.
The same cotton mill family paying the light bill.
I'm going to tell you a little secret.
So just about every corner of McAdenville can live up to the name Christmas Town.
You would be surprised how many people go by and take a bulb out for a souvenir. A lot of bulbs are replaced regular, but nobody complains about it.
Who would complain when the children wear a face like that?
And you see those little kids face pressed against the window, and the eyes about the size of $1, a silver dollar, then you know what it's all about.
And 6 decades after that first simple sign, much like that one on the hill,
It's gorgeous. Look at all the lights. It puts you in the Christmas spirit.
about 500,000 lights call so many by wire
It's the old town Christmas spirit, and we love that.
to a little mill town.
Merry Christmas.
It's a Currier and Ives special, what it is.
A made in America
Ho, ho, ho.
Christmas town.
Oh, this is the Christmas city.
In her red, white, and green.
The thrill of Christmas remains every year.
What a wonderful gift from the people of McAdenville, creating memories that will last for generations to come. And we are brightening the holidays for children who are in the hospital. WYFF4 is proud to partner with the Greenville Health System for the virtual toy drive. Amanda Crawford shows us how one small donation can impact an entire family.
Crash! You're not a very good driver.
In the Bradley family, no one sits still for very long.
You just made a
Even at the hospital.
One has a terminal illness of cystic fibrosis, and DJ, my son, was born at 23 weeks.
All 4 of Renee Bradley's children have spent time in the NICU.
It's scary experiences, but it's wonderful to be here.
Ready?
Her positive outlook is reflected in the faces of her kids. Despite everything they've been through, they've found the joy in their journey.
Okay, here, let's get out of the way so Carson can come. Okay, go.
Bradley says because of this playroom and these toys, her children can smile, even in the face of complicated procedures.
It was very scary. The IVs, the sticks, the doctors that are coming in with blue masks on because they just don't know what that is all about.
Ballerinas today.
Child life specialists like Emily Durham work with families to explain everything and ease their worries.
And then we coach them through those different experiences and utilize a lot of toys and distraction to help with that.
Durham relies on donations to provide the tools and toys she needs to comfort young patients.
The hospital pays to take care of kids medically, but what we need are the things that make kids feel like kids, the toys, the crafts, the games.
And that's where the virtual toy drive comes in. Support from the community makes all of this possible.
Children love to play. It's a great release for them. It's often very, very therapeutic.
Dr. Robin LaCroix is the medical director at Children's Hospital. She says playtime can help a child heal faster.
It gives them some reinforcement of things that they're doing well and being successful at, because oftentimes they're feeling very frustrated about not feeling better.
Outside the playroom, the funds support individual activities for the patient's rooms, facility dogs, which help the kids during their treatment, and other programs.
Booyah! Anything a child would want to play with is something that we need here in the hospital.
For the wheels? Sweet!
Bradley knows her children sometimes feel overwhelmed. Then a simple puzzle or game changes everything.
It's a blessing to us as parents that the stress just leaves them automatically.
She also knows what it's like to spend the holidays in a hospital room. But because of everything the virtual toy drive provides, her kids can forget their battle, even just for a moment.
I can't stress enough, you think it's going to be a sad time to have to be here, but they do so much to make sure that you feel comfortable and that you get to enjoy the holidays even at some of your hardest points in your life. It's a hard journey, but this place is home to us and it feels very comfortable here.
And that, she says, is thanks to the generosity of strangers. In Greenville, Amanda Crawford, WYFF News 4.
And if you would like to contribute to the virtual toy drive, just go to WYFF4.com. Look for the link right there on the home page. Whether you give $5, $100, $500, your donation will make a difference. And you can also donate other items, large and small, which will help in the care and the treatment of children. Remember, virtual giving brings real joy. And as you're able to see right now, our phone bank is open right now for the Holiday Sunshine Fund. It's so important to know, too, that 100% of your contributions go right back into our community. Our Nigel Robertson went to the northern part of Greenville County to show us how one agency is using your gifts to make a difference.
The actual building?
I believe that God sent me here.
Is very unassuming.
God brought me here.
This, however...
We are North Greenville Crisis Ministry and located at the 25 Highway Bypass in TR.
Hi, Jessica. How are you today?
...is where help happens. Jessica Hill is one of the countless number of people coming here, sharing their story and hoping for something. Is this a tough time of year?
Yes, very.
Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
I'm on a fixed income, so around holidays is very tough, and it's tough for a lot of other people that's on a fixed income too.
And when you say tough, define tough. Is it food? Is it?
It's food-wise, money-wise. It's just tough.
But just on the other side of the wall, that help is piled high.
They call this I guess the kitchen back here where we have the food. We distribute the food. You can see the boxes we got here. It's like a little assembly line.
Volunteers like Al Garabedian are working hard, filling bag after bag.
On this side, we got 2 cans of peas, 2 cans of green beans, corn, 2 cans of soup, a bottle of juice.
The list keeps going. Then the person on the other side of the assembly line adds.
And the more we do, the more it seems like they keep coming.
This was Jessica Hill's cart full of food.
The only time I get to eat like that, Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Did you catch that? The only time she gets to eat like this.
The food to them is such a, it's gold. It's gold to them because some of them have come in and they haven't eaten for maybe a couple of days. And that's hard for us to fathom. It's hard for us to even relate to, but every day, we see it every day.
The North Greenville Crisis Ministry provides for a specific area.
North of Cherrydale, up to the North Carolina border, west to Pickens County, east to Wade Hampton, includes 7 zip codes, 250 square miles.
Help doesn't just include food.
The girls and boys over here.
It's also clothes, although they don't have much.
This is a size 38 to 30.
And financial aid.
We help with their rent or utilities, and we pay $100 of that.
It may not sound like a lot, but what happens here can only be done when churches, businesses, groups, and individuals give. Give donations of food, donate their bags of clothes, money, even bags of hotel soap.
The best part, Nigel, is the community reaches out to places like this.
Here, they say all of it is desperately needed.
It's sad, very sad at times to see them come in, very needy. We see a lot of single moms. We see single dads. We see a lot of grandparents raising grandchildren. We see a lot of people on disability. We see older people, we see younger people. Everyone has a story, and some of them sadder than others.
Let me carry it out for you, sir.
Nigel Robertson, WYFF News 4, Greenville County.
And remember that our Holiday Sunshine Fund phone bank continues throughout this Chronicle. We have people live standing by ready to take your phone call. Every dollar helps someone in need this Christmas. All money stays right here. The number is right there on your screen. It's 1-800-808-5824.
It gives all of us hope, because when you're living on the street, we don't see that.
Ringing out a call for help at Christmas time, using your spare change to change lives. That's coming up next on Chronicle. Christmas bells ring out joy, of course. And more than a century ago, one little bell set up a call for help. Back in 1891, a Salvation Army captain in San Francisco needed money to help feed the city's poor. He set up a pot to collect donations. And so began the Salvation Army Red Kettles, collecting spare change all across the country. Little bells in the hand of a volunteer make a big difference. Here again is Michael Cogdill.
Wendy and the bell.
It's an art form,
Go back a ways.
Lots of people walk by and no eye contact.
Way before a kettle ringer had to compete with a cell phone for attention.
I just love people. I love to meet them. I love to talk to them.
She started ringing out that call for kindness at Christmas time.
God bless you, okay? Merry Christmas.
You couldn't email Santa when Wendy started.
Look, lots of years of practice.
It was 1991. She was 12.
Through the kettles, that's just one way to engage people, and I just love it.
Now she works for the Salvation Army, a captain.
God bless you. I'm putting it right in the kettle.
Who knows how to be nice to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Even the rare Scrooge walking by.
Even though they may be a Scrooge, maybe one day they'll remember that I smiled at them and I said, God bless you, Merry Christmas, and that will change their hearts.
Now, the Salvation Army has a slogan for this year's Red Kettle campaign. It is, when you give, expect change. They're not talking about the kind that jingles in your pocket.
Basically, I've been an alcoholic my whole life.
Daniel Hobson brought his troubled life to the Salvation Army.
I was losing jobs, losing places to live.
Now, sober, he works here, runs the men's shelter. Change dropped in the kettle.
Every penny counts.
Helped to change him.
It helps pay the bills, it helps buy the food. It gives all of us hope, you know, because when you're living on the street, we don't see that.
Wendy sees hope aplenty, still out there, ringing.
God bless you.
For change.
And Merry Christmas.
As you can see, a lot of love comes from those kettles. And over the next year, the money collected will serve the needs of some 26,000 people right in this region.
Make sure that you have nice crisp edges and always put a little something on your package.
Creating a magical Christmas gift with ribbons and paper. How to make your presents look extra special when Chronicle continues. Wrapping paper and colorful ribbons do add a festive touch to those presents under the tree, but many of us find wrapping just a little bit too complicated, and a less impressive gift bag works just fine. But that pretty package sure does make the present look extra special. Carol Clark found a Greenville woman who's wrapped thousands of gifts over the years and shows us how wrapping can be a snap.
Here you go. Thank you.
Meet Leslie Provis.
We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Shop owner and gift wrapper extraordinaire.
So how long did it take you to wrap all of these? Not very long. We're pretty fast at it now.
Fast at a craft she learned from her mom.
She taught me how to always buy good paper, to buy good ribbon, and to just make sure that you have nice crisp edges and always put a little something on your package.
One of the issues a lot of people have is that they either use way too much paper or they don't use enough. So how do you recommend getting the right amount of paper for a box?
I just set my roll out, whether it's a big roll like this or just a roll that I have at home.
Yep.
And I just measure. See, that's way too much. I just measure down and then cut it. And even then, sometimes the tails, are too long and it makes for a messy edge. So then you just kind of eyeball it. I like it to be about a little more than halfway on the side.
That's what I do too. You kind of lift it up and you make sure that you're probably about halfway up the box, right?
And then just cut off your excess, and then it's just making sure you get nice crisp edges. I like to tape a piece down so it doesn't slide.
And then I like to pull it.
Very taut. Again, we want everything to be a nice crisp edge.
But for many wrappers, the bow is the thing.
So the easiest way is to just use your hand. 2 to 3 loops makes a beautiful bow, and then you find the center and you cut 2 V's. One on each side.
Paperclip that and put it to the side.
To me, the bow is the most important part. It really shows off the package. And there's a little bit of trick to that too. You just hold it with one hand, you turn it over, then you just twist it. Then this one comes back around, and then you have your twist on the back. You have it nice and flat and tight, and it won't come apart. Then you just insert this bow we made earlier, and there you go.
And for her own gifts, Leslie likes to add what her husband calls a satellite gift.
It was just a tradition that my mother started doing, and I've just continued it on.
An ornament, a flower, tied into the bow.
That's so pretty.
I think anytime you put a little extra something on a package, it always makes the gifts a little more special.
For a gift wrapper's most special time of the year.
Now, Leslie confesses that she will resort to a gift bag if the shape of the present is just too odd. The most awkward present she's ever wrapped was a bicycle. Apparently, there wasn't a gift bag big enough.
We love to come together and make music, and singing is praying twice.
The voices of children help make the holidays special. How music is the key to the season, coming up next on Chronicle. And we're making it easy for you to donate to people in need in our area through the Holiday Sunshine Fund call-in. We will have these lines open throughout this Chronicle, so please make our phones ring. The number to call is 1-800-808-5600. 5824. When you think of this season, a favorite song or a piece of music likely comes to mind. There's a wealth of Christmas music that's being prepared for celebrations and get-togethers everywhere. Carol Clark tonight with just a small sample of the sweet sounds of the season.
Oh, happy day. Oh, y'all come on, clap with us. Hey. Oh, happy day. When Jesus washed.
Celebrating the season at the Governor's Carol Lighting in Columbia.
Tiny little baby born in a manger.
The Carol Lighting came right after Thanksgiving, kicking off the season of music.
Tiny little baby born in a manger.
And what a season! Stroll near any church and you'll hear the sound of musicians getting ready for Christmas. When it comes to making music, every single bell ringer at Buncombe Street United Methodist is important.
Missing one hand bell ringer means missing two notes. So it'd be like playing the piano with, taking two keys out.
It's all keys in. At Practice for South Carolina Bach, a group based in Greenville that honors the work of a great composer.
Christmas time, I think people are more interested in classical music perhaps, and some of his greatest works were written for that season. It's exuberant.
Speak joy.
Right, it's exuberant.
Saint Joseph too was by to tend the child.
A thought echoed by the adult choir at Christ Church in Greenville.
When Christ our Lord was born on Christmas night.
To be a part of that process is a rich reward of being in the choir, to see the joy that we are helping to create in them.
But the soundscape of Christmas is incomplete without the voices of children.
The purity of their voices brings a purity of the message of Christmas. And I think that's why children and Christmas, part of it, go together.
We love to come together and make music, and singing is praying twice.
Singing is praying twice. If that is true, the air is full of prayers this Christmas time.
And it's worth noting this is a particularly busy time of the year for Carol. She sings with the South Carolina Bach Society and her church choir, which is directed by her new husband, Arlen.
There's so many people here that need it. That this is their Christmas.
Chronicle, a special train bringing the holidays to every corner of coal country and smiles to hundreds of faces. And we want to remind you there is still time to call and donate to the Holiday Sunshine Fund. 100% of your financial gift goes to organizations that help our neighbors in need right here. The number to call is 1-800-808-5824. There's a Christmas tradition 76 years strong, the Santa Train, a specially chartered train ride full of toys, donations, and Santa Claus. Amanda Crawford takes us inside the special ride.
In the fields and mountains of coal country, trains are a part of life.
Hi, Brenda. I have my first two.
But once a year, something special rolls down these tracks.
Merry Christmas!
A tradition precious to hundreds of families. Since 1942, the Santa Train has delivered toys and clothing to children across Appalachia.
Just coming out here and just being able to watch these kids get so excited. It's exciting for me.
When this time of year comes around, everybody's talking, Santa Train, Santa Train, Santa Train.
Merry Christmas.
It all begins before the sun comes up.
We start so early.
see the kids all bundled up, and it's not even 6 o'clock yet. So they're out there and they just want to see Santa.
The first stop is in Kentucky. Sleepy-eyed kids wait by the tracks for that perfect gift. On board, volunteers from CSX and other companies are busy.
Use some of these boxes to bring them up and stage them.
Filling bags, sorting coats, organizing.
Just from packing wrapping paper to packing the food bags and how we're getting them off of the train. You know, once we run out of things, we come back to the door.
They're giving away 15 tons worth of school supplies, stuffed animals, blankets, and winter coats.
Handmade items, toys, monetary donations, all those kinds of things come in all year round.
At 13 more stops. For 100 miles through Virginia and Tennessee.
Oh, everybody's excited. They're looking up, down the track to see if it's coming.
Eager crowds wait for that whistle.
And when it comes around the bend down there and starts blowing, everybody starts running, real excited.
Bringing back warm memories for people like Judy Eisen.
I guess you can say it's been over 50, 60 years. As we get older, you still have this kid part in you.
Generation after generation, they're bringing their children here to experience the same thing that they experienced as a child.
The beauty is that time hasn't changed much.
What was it like back then?
Oh, it was just like this.
It was a knockdown drag out. Back then, kids didn't get all that much, so when Santa come by, we was out here to get what we could.
Started with my generation, then her generation, and now the grandchildren.
It's about the same. A few things changed, but not much.
Each town is filled with faces of all ages. Many have watched this area survive strenuous times.
Well, no more than what we have here in Dane. It means a great deal.
Y'all can stay back a bit for us. Guys, we're coming to you. We're coming to you.
It's picking up in this community this year. I mean, things are looking better. I'm the postmaster here, so these people, it's exciting to see them. It really is. It's a great day for everybody.
We have a lot of people that struggle, especially, since our coal's gone, you know. There's so many people here that need it. That this is their Christmas.
A few moments to forget about stress and embrace the season.
It is overwhelming for sure. I was very emotional this morning just thinking about the people that are here, that this is their presents. This is all they get.
Honestly, I feel like we're living the real Polar Express, and you can see that excitement on the kids' faces as they see the train pass by. It's Christmas magic.
It brings everybody together, closeness. You'll see people that you haven't seen all year come out for the Santa train.
Here you go. Merry Christmas. There's so many volunteers that this train means so much to them, and they want to be on it.
Santa train!
Santa train! So it is a privilege, and I'm so thankful that year after year I get to do this.
Amanda Crawford, WYFF News 4.
Go to the right.
At Train Whistle, the sound of Santa. And Christmas trees are more than just a sign of the season. They mean big business in our area. In South Carolina, farming Christmas trees is a $30 million industry. And North Carolina is often called the Christmas tree capital of the world. Here again, Amanda Crawford with a time-honored tradition.
What about that one right there?
It's a careful,
That one looks good.
detailed process.
How tall is that one?
The annual hunt
We found our tree!
for a Christmas tree.
This is actually our 4th year. Rachel was a baby when we came for the first time here.
A trip all about tradition and that seasonal magic.
We always do it the day after Thanksgiving because it's just a fun memory that we can do. It's something I did growing up.
It can't be too big because our family room's not that big, so we have to kind of keep it skinnier, and we try to get it as tall as we can to the top of before it hits the roof. So,
For many, it's the official start of the holiday season, and choosing the tree
We need a little bit shorter one. I don't think we can reach the top.
Means envisioning all the festivities ahead.
Put the bow on this side.
Is that going to hold your ornaments? Is it big and strong?
We have a lot of ornaments, so it's got to have lots of branches to be able to hold lots of ornaments.
I love that Santa comes and he gives me presents and I'm on the good list.
About a 7-foot tree. We like to get about 7 foot, and we like it to be pretty full and just have that typical Christmas tree shape.
In Western North Carolina, it's also big business.
We planted 9,000 in the spring, 9,000 new ones, but we have 3,500 tags. I tagged every single one of them.
As operations manager at Boyd Mountain Christmas Tree Farm, Darren Nicholson's job starts long before the holidays.
I go through and grade them individually. We grade them on shape, size, color, so it's a lot more to it than just slapping a price on there and selling them. We take a lot of pride in what we do.
With crowds like this, the trees don't last long.
Last year we sold 2,800 trees in 7 days. We've got about 700 more than we had last year.
20% of all Christmas trees in the U.S. are grown right here in North Carolina. Almost all of them are the famous Fraser fir.
It takes 3,000 feet of elevation to grow the trees, so that's why you can't find them in Georgia, South Carolina.
Fraser firs are popular, but there's a tree in every shape, size, and color for everyone.
What do you guys look for in a tree?
Where we all agree on it. So sometimes it takes a little while to do it. So
For farm employees, it really is the most wonderful time of the year.
To see kids out here with smiles on their faces,
Maybe we should get this one.
and they're going to get to harvest a tree and take it home. There's a lot of pride in this. You know, people come to make memories. It's a family day.
A day that starts with a tree, but really is about so much more.
Just the atmosphere, the beauty of the mountains, and then Santa Claus down there, the kids get their picture, and then the hot chocolate.
Is it good?
In Haywood County, North Carolina,
Merry Christmas!
Amanda Crawford, WYFF News 4.
Throughout North Carolina, there are 800 registered farms growing 37 million Christmas trees. That's a lot of joy in a lot of homes.
It is really amazing how everything is made out of gingerbread, and you cannot even tell. It's too pretty to eat.
Coming up next on Chronicle, a culinary delight becomes a feast for the eyes. And there is still time to call in and donate to the Holiday Sunshine Fund. 100% of everything you give goes to organizations right here helping our neighbors in need. The number to call is 1-800-808-5824. Ginger and cinnamon, cloves and butter and bubbling brown sugar. Can't you smell it now? Gingerbread is a warm scent of the season. But at the Omni Grove Park Inn in Asheville, gingerbread is high art. It's a feast for the eyes. The Omni Grove Park Inn's 26th annual National Gingerbread Competition.
Look at this one.
Traditional gingerbread houses dot this sweet-smelling neighborhood.
Merry Christmas.
Joined by some unlikely creations, like these festive forest friends.
Can't believe the detail in all of this.
I can't either.
Gingerbread art is on display throughout the historic inn, sparking the imagination.
Each person that walks through these hallways and see these entries, they have their own moments of wow, or oh my gosh, how did they do that? And that is what this competition is all about.
That tree looks like some of our oaks.
Zelda and George Allen make a special trip each year from Wilmington, North Carolina. Their favorite? The Daylight General Store.
Those cars and the little outhouse, just the people, so much detail.
It very much reminded me of life in a simpler time, kind of a low-key mountain Christmas, if you will.
It's a display enjoyed by eyes of all ages.
Look at the bear.
Noting the detail, enjoying the stories. As wildly different as these creations are, from the lost city of Atlantis to a bonsai treehouse, they all do have to have one thing in common. They have to be 75% gingerbread, and absolutely every detail has to be edible. A polite fence keeps spectators from taking a bite, but it's not enough to keep 6-year-old Ariane Camacho from dreaming about it.
I want to eat them all.
Are they going to let you eat them?
No, but I really want to.
And he's not the only one with an appetite. This owl is eyeing a mouse, wondering if he's friend or food.
It is really amazing how everything is made out of gingerbread, and you cannot even tell. It's too pretty to eat.
And this intricate creation took the top prize.
You really are looking at our grand prize winner and seeing very, very clean lines. Talk about precision. Tiny, tiny little instruments. It was amazing. We were completely blown away by the intricacy of this particular piece.
These gingerbread houses tell stories. There's Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse ran up the clock struck 1, and the mice went inside to bake their own little gingerbread house. 195 of these gingerbread stories sprinkled their joy throughout the historic inn, while in the lobby, a crackling fire in the enormous hearth invites guests to just sit for a bit, while the huge golden Christmas tree cast its own Christmas spell. For American storyteller Bob Dotson and his wife Linda, all of this helps define the holidays.
To me, Christmas is always about 100 years ago, and when you come to the Grove Park Inn, it is 100 years ago.
It's like another world up here.
The inn has been nestled in these Blue Ridge Mountains for more than a century, and for more than a quarter of that century, they've been celebrating gingerbread.
This is the holidays. So for us, gingerbread, well, that makes the holidays here for us.
It's hard to find anyone who doesn't like a nice bite of gingerbread. And then there's the fruitcake. You know, there's a running joke that there's only one fruitcake and it just keeps getting regifted. But tonight, Carol Clark takes us to the kitchen of a woman who's a champion of the fruit and nut confection. She claims that if naysayers could only get a taste of a good fruitcake, they would change their minds and the reputation of the Christmas fruitcake.
In your mind, what is the most important thing when you get ready to make a really good fruitcake?
Well, the quality of the ingredients is key. We start with butter. We add to that half a cup of sugar. Just beat it till it is light and fluffy. And at this point, we begin adding the eggs. I like to go ahead and add the allspice. I just think it's such a wonderful flavor. This just smells like Christmas to me. One other thing that adds to the flavor that kind of makes it taste like fruitcake is molasses. So at this point we get to do the fun thing, which is starting to add all these goodies. Do you want to add some?
Sure.
I'm using a combination of light and dark raisins. Let's do the apricots.
Oh, these smell so good.
And that's the difference between the California and the Turkish. The California ones are very tangy, and these are the tart dried cherries, which I suspect are grown in Michigan. I like dates because they add a richness. And then, of course, the famous candied citrus peel. And finally, the nuts. First, the walnuts, the pecans.
My favorite.
Yes. And now we mix again. The final thing that we add is the flour. So you're really using only enough flour to kind of hold the whole thing together. What we have now is a very dense, I mean, feel that.
That's a beautiful batter.
It's beautiful, but it is dense.
It is. And it smells so good.
We're actually steaming this as it bakes. One of the reasons fruitcakes can be dry is because maybe they were not properly steamed. It's been about 3.5 hours at this point, and we're going to let that cool till it's at room temperature. So now we're ready to make up the glaze. You're going to use about 1/2 cup of apricot jam. You're going to combine that with about 1 tablespoon of brandy. Sort of pour, sort of spread this over the cake. Spread that, and you can let it run over the sides a little, and you just press those in, and as the glaze hardens, it will hold them in place.
It sounds like you really love fruitcake.
I really do. It's something that interests me. It's fun, it's challenging.
If you think you don't like fruitcake, you really need to try this because this tastes just like Christmas.
Carol needs to share a bite. She tells us that Susan Clark makes her own candied citrus peel for this cake, which is a wonderfully fresh addition. And Susan is happy to share her easy recipe to make that peel, along with the recipe for her fruitcake. You can find both on Carol's Facebook page. Just go to WYFF News 4's Carol Clark.
You just look up and up and up and up, towards the ceiling, and the tree just keeps going.
Coming up next on Chronicle, a tradition honored for 123 years, Christmas at Biltmore. And there's just a little while longer that you can call in and donate to the Holiday Sunshine Fund. 100% of your financial gift goes to organizations that help our neighbors in need. So call us now, 1-800-808-5824. At the Biltmore House in Asheville, a big tradition is honored every year. A team of 55 pulleys and ropes. People hoist a huge Christmas tree into place in the banquet hall. The raising of the great tree ushers in the season of celebration at Biltmore. Here's Gabrielle Komorowski.
It can be hard to remember that at the end of the 1800s, all of this was simply a family's home. George Vanderbilt opened the Biltmore House to his family and friends on Christmas Eve in 1895. 123 years later, Christmas remains a very special time here, and they go all out.
We love to surprise them and delight them with a different experience, a different, look.
Every room is dressed up for the holiday.
I've been to Buckingham Palace, and this is more breathtaking.
No, but I've been waiting to do this for 15 years. I've been saying I wanted to come to Asheville and see this, so.
There are 55 trees inside the house.
It's very beautiful. They've done a lot of work. It's really, really gorgeous.
Each detail is chosen with care.
We are guardians of this home.
And honors tradition.
But also decorating in a way that George Vanderbilt would have liked.
Planning for the Christmas season at Biltmore is a full-time job.
We love it. We are working on it year-round.
Lizzie Borchers, the floral manager, and her team make sure that each year the decorations tell a different story.
This year's theme is the Art of Christmas.
Inspired by the rare paintings and tapestries in the house.
Here in the banquet hall, this blue color scheme was a new one.
Other decorations have been here every year since George Vanderbilt hosted that very first Christmas.
We know that he had a 30 to 40 foot fresh tree in the banquet hall.
This big tree is real too.
You just look up and up and up and up, towards the ceiling, and the tree just keeps going.
And a more modern tradition has developed.
There's an unlit light bulb hanging on the banquet hall tree.
Hidden by the engineering team. Guests and staff have learned to look for it.
I've spotted it once. It's well hidden this year.
The decorations also honor the Vanderbilts' tradition of giving gifts to the children of the people who worked on the estate. And one of the most exotic gifts at the time was an orange.
I mean, just to think about the ways that they would have to get food here that they couldn't grow here, I mean, is pretty amazing.
George Vanderbilt's wife Edith made sure the children received different gifts each year.
So she kept a list of what she had ordered in.
This is a shopping list from FAO Schwartz Toy Store in New York City from December of 1898. It shows that Mrs. George Vanderbilt spent $37 on toy donkeys, horses, roosters, and dolls.
We know that Edith wrapped all the employees' gifts personally.
A Christmas party for Biltmore employees and their children is still held in the house today.
We have dancing, we have treats. It's really no different than it was back then.
As the sun sets on the Biltmore estate at Christmas time, guests are invited to see it the same way those first visitors experienced Biltmore, by candlelight.
We would love the guests who come visit Biltmore today to still feel the same hospitality that George offered his friends and family.
The warmth of a family home and the magic and joy of the season.
And it's not only the house, the entire estate is decorated for the holiday season. The Christmas at Biltmore celebration continues through January 6th. Well, this past hour, we've shared many ways to celebrate the holiday season, spending precious time with family and friends. finding a special way to make Christmas a little brighter for a child, and helping our neighbors in need right here at home. We hope that the magic of the season is felt in your home and in your hearts this Christmas. Thank you for joining us for our live Chronicle, Home for the Holidays. I'm Jane Robelo. Merry Christmas and good night.